Mixing with something fast and heavy. I call that coffee and hardcore. A ramager of fun stuff. It sounds on America. You can't go wrong. It's time for coffee and hardcore. I take my coffee like I take my hardcore. Fast and bold, dark and strong. The cream of sugar will suck things up. Can't think of a better duo. Coffee and hardcore. Coffee and hardcore.
Hey, what's up? This is Ekeraj from Back to Godhead, and you're listening to the Coffee and Hardcore podcast. These guys know a ton about hardcore, especially the Hardcore Encyclopedia. But like me, they don't know jack shit about coffee. Except that Jacob guy. He knows his stuff. Alright guys, you've been warned. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long, hot summer, but Coffee and Hardcore is back.
We're back.
Season 5, episode 11. That's right.
Yeah,
And this one's good.
Called The Most Interesting Man in the World with Vinnie Stigma.
That's right. We promised you that when we came back, it was going to be large and in charge. And we've got the one and only, the Godfather of Hardcore himself, Vinnie Stigma.
With
Howie
Abrams.
Yes,
Yep.
Howie Abrams.
Yeah, Howie's there.
Yeah. And
we love chatting with Howie and with Vinnie.
Yes, it was a great conversation. And, those guys dropping a book about Vinnie's life.
So awesome.
Yeah. So we talk a little bit about that and some other things and some other hilarious shenanigans.
And just so you all know, that book comes out September 10th.
Right.
Yes. So that's a few days after this podcast drops.
Yeah, a few days after it.
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes & Noble's website. You can get a autographed copy on Premier Collectibles. And even Revelation Rev HQ has the book.
Yeah. And if you're over there in Europe, because we do have a couple Europe listeners, Cortex Records has
that's right, Cortex
has it out as well. So
yeah,
rock on.
And under it.
And
I'm a weirdo.
So yeah. So listen, it's cool to finally be back after a long summer.
Guess who's back again. Guess who's back. Tell your friends. Sorry.
But it was good to have the time off. So
so good.
Yeah.
How many reruns did we do?
I have them right here.
We did the Roger Moret rerun.
We did.
We did the Eddie Leeway rerun.
We did.
We did the Scott Vogel rerun.
Yep.
Question mark.
We did.
We did Back to Godhead. That just dropped.
Yeah.
Just recently. And then we did our all-time favorites group of gaggle heads Skullcrack.
Yeah, we did 5 reruns over 3 months.
Summer.
And we did a little sneak short episode as well.
That's right.
With the
Muggsy
one and
Bogues.
with the Muggsy Bogues, who I thought was somebody else when we were talking, but that's all right. Oh,
cool.
Geez.
I think we're just rambling now, so I think we should get into this. I think we should get into this. We gotta go. Let's do it.
Take in touch with you or me. Gotta go. These sense of security. Gotta go. Want to live my life for me. Gotta go. Why can't they just let me be? Gotta go.
Hey, I'm Vinny, and this is Coffee and Hardcore. We're gonna make some coffee for the fellas, guys. Hold on.
What do you got there?
Oh, we got the good stuff over here. Right? What's
Oh.
that?
Illy.
Yeah, let's see.
And then, so what do you do? Give me the process.
The process. Let me get one heaping scoop. Got to be a heaping
So he's
scoop,
got the French press, right? Old school.
right?
Yeah.
One heaping scoop. I put more, but we had trouble. I had a pinch of punch, right? Did we do that?
Special occasion.
Yeah, and then you got the you can see it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there you go. He's got the old man coffee pot.
My wife
we
uses
love
both of those
coffee.
things.
We love coffee. We love Agnostic Front coffee too,
Hell yeah.
right? Hey, you let it ferment a few minutes, and we'll talk. So how you guys doing?
Doing
Dude,
good, sir.
so good.
Uh,
So
uh,
good to see you both.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
Howie and Vinny. Holy cow. I'm excited for this conversation. I've been waiting for it. Thank you so much, guys.
Our pleasure.
So let's just jump right into this.
Yeah.
I think everyone listening to this podcast, Coffee and Hardcore, knows who you are, Vinny, of course.
Oh yeah.
But Howie, how did you guys get together? What's your guys' story? How this
Yeah,
came
so-
to be?
Yeah, I mean, I know Vinny since 1984, and
wow.
you know, and it was around Victim in Pain time, and you know, naturally, I went to a CB's matinee, and as you'll read in the book, or how that people just know already, Vinny was like the unofficial welcoming committee outside the CB's matinees, right? So
Yeah.
you know, he was trying to bring the spirit and the joy to the whole thing. So we had a lot of mutual friends. I wound up meeting Vinny, and even before that, actually, you know, Vinny was like, "Hey, you came to the show, you came to see the show," and I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Good, I'll see you inside." We didn't know each other, you know what I mean? And so basically, I'm trying to remember it wasn't an AF show. It was another band's show. So Vinny was just sort of there. He's like part neighborhood guy, part, you know, hardcore, you know, gatekeeper. And, you know, we met. And so not that long afterward, I started In Effect Records, and I put out, you know, the Live at CBGB album. I put out the Madball single. Later on, I signed Madball and put Madball out. And we just remained in touch. And again, million mutual friends. We've been friends. And, you know, I've been doing books since 2013. And it just sort of came the time, and it felt like Vinny was an obvious choice. So I approached him about the idea, and we talked and we decided that we wanted to move forward with the book. And I was, aside from honored that he said yes, you know, he had told me that other people had approached him about doing a book, and he didn't feel like it was either the right person or the right time. And, you know, so we moved forward, and, you know, here we are. We have a book coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to have a book. I said, I want to do it with Howie.
So did you write this book, Howie?
So basically, it's hard to say I wrote it per se. It's the kind of thing where it was my idea. I conceptualized it. I interviewed Vinny 22 times.
Oh, wow.
And so I picked the topics, you know, the whole thing, and created the narrative, you know, like how the book was going to flow. And one of the things that we really, really agreed on was that we just didn't want it to be, oh, by the way.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We didn't want it to be, there you go. We wanted it to be different than a lot of the punk rock biographies that have come out, right? There's a lot of them in the last several years. There you go. Yeah. That's a really good one. Yeah. And, you know, and we just wanted to change up like the format a little bit and let it be representative of Vinny's personality, you know, and not just, hey,
larger than life.
Traveled the world. Traveled the world, and he's in a popular band, and like we've all sort of read and heard that story before. So we started just like throwing ideas around, and, you know, he loves to cook. So we're like, let's put your family recipes in the book.
You got a cookbook.
So you got the cookbook. Then we were like, he's also a bit of a superhero, so let's have a comic. You know, we got Ernie from Token / Black Train Jack to do a comic. We got a comic book. So now you got a comic book. And then there's a children's story that I wrote that's like a fictional story of like a child with a big nose in Little Italy who gets teased, and then basically, you know, like he wins everybody over by playing guitar. You know,
that's really cool.
So then there's
it's like a plethora
puzzle.
of things. Yeah,
crossword puzzles, poems.
Yeah, there's a poem.
That's crazy.
So that's kind of how it went. So I wrote an introduction, for the book. So those are my words. Roger did the forward. So those are his. But I did that interview as well and turned it into the forward. And then everything else is just Vinny's voice, and just us hitting the topics that we wanted to cover and all the ideas. And here we are.
And you know what? It makes it a great coffee table book.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. What inspired that front cover? It's so great. It sells the book on its own. You hanging out the window, or to me, it looks like out the window, shirtless with all of your tattoos, smoking the cigar. It's amazing.
You know what's funny about that? This is my 10th book, right?
Yeah.
And this is the first time I had an idea for a title before even doing the book. So I just thought the most interesting man in the world for this guy was it, right? And so I hit him up. We asked a couple of people we knew, and they were all like, "That's the one. Like, that's it."
Oh yeah.
And so then I was like looking online at Instagram and all this stuff for, photos to figure out, maybe some photographers I didn't know that could give us photos for the book or whatever. And I came across this photo. That's the cover of the book. And so when he was making the Godfather of Hardcore movie with Ian McFarlane, the photographer, Heather McGrath, came with Ian to Vinny's house and wound up doing a photo shoot. And that's where that photo came from. It's from that photo shoot.
Oh, rad. That's really cool. By the way, that is a great documentary.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great.
Love it.
I could say it's great. He probably doesn't want to say it's great.
Oh, it's great. I wrestle. I can have an ego now.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
is-
you got
it
the
is
wrestling
great.
section.
Yeah, there's a
in there,
wrestling
too.
section. Yeah.
Yeah, if you like wrestling, I got them in there. Flying
Oh,
off the top
nice.
rope, so I'm doing it all.
Oh yeah, we had Roger actually on the podcast, and I think that footage just released right when we had him on,
Yes.
the Vinny
Yeah.
wrestling, and he's like, "Did you guys see the Vinny wrestling thing?" We're like, "Oh yeah, we saw that."
But he's done it more than once now, too.
I thought it was awesome because not only the homicide just launches you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's hilarious. It's so awesome.
Well, I'm a stage diver.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Uh-oh. The boys just want to say hey to Uncle Vinny real quick.
Hi, guys.
Hey, fellas.
Say hi.
Hi.
They like wrestling. Those are the true wrestling fans right there.
Yeah, I wrestle.
He wrestles too.
I'm a wrestler.
Oh,
Oh.
They're like, "No way." So you guys got pre-orders up on Amazon and Bandcamp, and I noticed there's someone that's doing autograph copies. Where can you get those?
So those originally, we did autograph copies with Generation Records here in New York.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so we did those. That sale is over. Those are sold out.
Those sold out already. Okay.
But there's another company called Premier Collectibles. And they're doing signed copies as well. They're like a memorabilia company that, again, you could buy like a $12,000-$13,000 signed Rolling Stones guitar from them,
Oh,
You said-
instant autograph.
Oh, yeah.
You said Premier Collectibles.
Premier Collectibles. And so they sign, they're selling the signed book too, because they got into all these like celebrity books. So how do you have celebrity books for sale without Vinnie Stigma's book? So, and then,
I agree.
Revelation Records, Rev HQ has it. Cortex
Oh,
Records in
nice.
Germany's got it.
Rev has the
and-
autographed one.
No, not autographed, but just
Oh.
for pre-orders. I think that's it for now. Yeah, but it's Amazon. Obviously, you can get it Barnes and Noble, wherever.
That's cool. And it officially comes out September 10th,
Correct.
and it's up for pre-order right now.
It's been
Well,
for a
this-
long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, honestly, you give Amazon the information and they just put it up whenever they want.
Good old Amazon.
Yeah, or not, but yeah.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about them, but I do
You know
think
what
it's
though?
cool about the
They've
books.
been good to us, and the one thing that they do is they always wind up selling it cheaper than everybody else.
Yeah. That is true. That's one of their techniques.
We want you to buy the TV, so we'll sell you the book cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. Vinny, so I know like everyone knows Roger, but you are the OG, the original member since 1980. Can you talk a little bit about the old days and some of the people and members you had in the band originally? Because that's always interests me a lot.
You know, I tell you the truth, I miss dressing up crazy like I used to. Like, you know, now I got a mohawk, but it's like short instead of like really tall.
Yeah.
I got lazier. I always wore boots. You know, now it's a struggle for me to put on boots. Like, you know, but I still have my old, I call them uniforms. I still got my leather jacket and my bondage pants and all my punk, and I still fit in it. That's the story I want to tell.
Most people can't say that.
I still fit in it.
Well, but talk about the like the eliminators.
Oh, back
into
yeah.
AF.
Well, that was before there was like really hardcore.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, and hardcore was very early stages when it was still punk rock, let's just say. Then when punk turned a little hardcore, you know, those were great days for me too. I never forget, we had this car and we took all our equipment in that car and I played CBGB's, A7 and Max's Kansas City all in one night.
Wow. All in one night?
All in one night. I did CB's, Max's, A7. I toured New York City.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we brought the crowd all along with me because I hung out in Chinatown and all the Chinatown kids liked me, all the gang kids. And they used to like wear leather jackets and they got the best spiky hair, you know?
Yeah.
And the sunglasses, forget it. I put the collar up back in the day, forget it. I used to bring a crowd anywhere I go. So that's how I kind of got
still do.
because I made friends with everybody.
Yeah. Dude, you still bring a crowd everywhere you go. People love you, man.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm going back them days, you know?
Yeah. Well, you got a Steelers coffee cup? Come on.
Yeah, I got a Steelers coffee cup.
I thought you were in New York.
I am in New York.
There's a talk in the book about his whole Steelers fandom, like how it happened.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we have a sports section too.
Yeah, there's a sports fan section. So every chapter in the book actually is something that people consider Vinnie to be, right? So it's like sort of,
I love that.
You know, musician, cook, wrestler, you know, sports fan, entertainment fan, you know, drinking buddy. It's like everything is sort of laid out about like what various people know of Vinnie, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, of course there's all the old like AF history. And what's great is we tried also not to double up on what Roger talked about.
Right. Yeah.
So what Vinnie talks about is a lot of pre-Roger, you know, and there's a whole discussion there about meeting Roger and how that happened. And,
that's cool.
you know, so, and it's funny because Roger played bass in the Psychos. And so when Adam Mucci, who was the bass player in AF, goes up to Roger to ask him, you know, because Vinnie sends Adam over and like, we want you to join the band for no other reason than because he was a crazy dancer at shows. So Vinnie liked that and sends Adam over. Yeah. And then, you know, Roger knew Adam was the bass player. So he's like, wait, like you have a bass player. You're the bass player. Like, why are you asking me to join the band? It's like, no, we want you to be the singer.
And did he sing at all at that time?
Yeah, he sang,
but like backing vocals, probably, right?
No, he
screaming Yo-Yo Egbo.
Well, yeah, you know, back then everybody screamed, but yeah, he had no choice. You understand?
Yeah. Well, it was the right choice, right?
Yeah, it's true.
That's right.
It was a good choice.
Ended up being a great choice. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So here's something kind of weird, and I don't know. Okay, I'll just bring it up. But our buddy Mark Sylvester, he's working on getting you a cigar sponsorship. Do you remember talking to him?
Yeah.
He wanted me to give you. He wanted me to give you a shout out. Because we're in a group and we chat a bunch, Mick and I, we talk about hockey in this group a bunch, and he's like, "You guys are having Vinnie on. Make sure you say hi to him. I'm still working on getting him that cigar sponsorship."
Yeah,
so he's excited. Oh, nice.
We'll get one. We'll get one day.
Yeah, you will. He was told me about some.
I had the coffee. The Agnostic Front coffee. So.
Oak and Crow. That's right. We were talking about that off the show. I'll have Jacob send you some more coffee because he's excited that you're on the podcast also.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you. Coffee and cigars.
Coffee and Cigars, new podcast. There you go, Mark.
There it is.
This is so awesome. I can't believe you always need a book. So I'm so happy that you actually are coming out with one because
Me too, to be honest with you. You know, I think it was about time. Like when I did my first solo album, it was like over 25 years I've been in Agnostic Front. And Jamie from Hatred said, "Hey, Vinny, you should do a solo album." Roger's been doing them. I was like, yeah, right. I did it with Jamie. Right. And you know, it was the right guy. Just like Howard. I did the book with Howard. Yeah. Believe me, I got approached for years. People, oh, you got to write a book. Got to write a book. I'm like, yeah. But it was right. I felt right because I liked having the children's book, the cookbook, you know, the coffee table book, you know, the comic book, all in one book, like kind of, and somewhat all related to the actual book. You know?
Yeah, it's very different. I think that's really cool.
It's like 5 books in one.
Yeah, we were basically, again, like I don't want to shit on anyone else's book, and Rogers is like one of the last really good ones that I read because I think his book is fantastic, and like, you know, but there's a lot, you know, you're in a market now where like punk rock biographies are a big deal, you know, and a lot of people are putting them out, and they're kind of getting into the one long book thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I wanted to do something different, have fun with it. Yes. It's a collectible.
It's his book. Like,
it speaks off of your personality.
Yeah, that's
what you're saying.
A lot of fun. I tell you, my girl read it back to me, and I tell you, I started laughing a bunch of times.
But that's what it's about. Like,
it's a fun book too.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the point. It's like, you know, look, I look at it a little like this, right? And Vinny didn't actually have this, which is interesting too. But like, if you read enough stories of like, oh, I had a horrible childhood and blah, 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 it may be totally genuine and real. But like, if you read it 10 times, you know, from different people, it's like it
blends together. The
emotional impact, right? And so you got to do something else, you know? So, you know, people want you know, information, but like, let Vinny tell you about his life. Like, you know, the point was like, I want to picture Vinny sitting by a fireplace at Thanksgiving with like all the kids and the cousins and like reading them stories. Like that's what I wanted to see in a Vinny book. And we just were like, yes, like that's what we got to do.
That's cool. That's cool, guys. I'm really excited to read it.
Yeah.
Super excited. This is going to be a great book. Congratulations, guys. Vinny, you have a book.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have that big party at Nighthawk Theater.
Yep, we got the big New York release coming up on the 12th, 2 days after the book comes out in September, where we're screening the Godfathers of Hardcore, actually, because again, even the book release event, we wanted to do something different because we love the people at Generation Records here. So they have been a partner, you know, for Vinny and Roger, and they do all of the events. But, you know, again, like how many times can you make people come to the store and do the, you know, a signing there and whatever. So we're like, let's reach out to Nighthawk Cinema. The guy who runs the place, John Woods, is a hardcore guy. He's in bands, you know, and we're like, let's screen the movie. We'll do a Q&A. We'll do a signing. And Vinny's even going to play acoustic doo-wop songs.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Apparently, I have to sing.
Yeah, I got Howie to sing on one of the doo-wop songs.
That's awesome.
You got to come just for that. It's debut. His musical debut.
It's my big singing
right?
debut.
This is the first time.
Well, it's not because I used to jump on stage with like Nuclear Assault, and sing a song with them.
Okay.
So I had my little moment with them there, but you know, this is different. Not acoustic. I've never been part of an acoustic.
Me either.
Yeah. So we're
That's awesome. Mick, you got anything for him?
Yeah, well, yeah. I was so stoked to hear that the book was coming out because I love the part in the Godfathers of Hardcore, Vinny, where you just kind of walk around on the street and just kind of tell stories about what's happening, and then the next thing you're kind of in the apartment and you're saying, "Yeah, my uncle lived down there," and it was just so awesome to see all that. Like you could tell just how I don't know, just your heart for your neighborhood. And I was so like, when I saw the book and I kind of read the description, I was like, oh man, this is going to be awesome. And then now I'm hearing what else is in the book. This is going to be crazy good. This is awesome. So yeah, I really stoked for this to come out and excited to, I don't know, just to see what happens after you put it out. Cause I don't know, your story is really interesting and I love it. And just love that personality of just kind of hanging out in your neighborhood, just taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
just
a lot
awesome.
of guys come here and like I walk them around the neighborhood and I point things out, like
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun,
And it's in the book. Like you get some of that in the
Nice.
book about people he's been in bands with, like even before AF, and like there's a crazy. I'm not going to give it away, but there's a crazy story in the book about one of the guys he was in Black Angus with, which was the band before the Eliminators, and the guy winds up dying.
That's about it. Yeah.
But the way things that happened after he died,
so good.
it's so crazy. Like you've never heard anything like this before. And it's a neighborhood story, really.
Yeah, really.
Because it was sort of like down the block.
Yeah.
And like people started chirping, like, did you hear what they're doing over there?
Yeah.
And it was his former band member.
Yeah.
And there's just stuff like that where you get like what you were saying about him walking people around the neighborhood and pointing stuff out. Like he does it sort of retroactively, like back to the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
That's cool. Vinny, you're so full of life. And just, I think anytime someone meets you, you just put them in a great mood.
Hey,
Like you just have such great energy.
So good. So good.
For real, man.
Right?
You got great energy. Love
A
it.
little more coffee over here.
What is your go-to coffee? What do you drink? What does Vinnie Stigma drink daily?
Coffee, of course.
Yeah, what kind of coffee?
Big coffee. The other day made Howie an egg cream.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did another podcast and for Canada, and
Oh nice.
basically he had it all. Like when I got here, he was like, "Look, when we're done, I'm gonna make you an egg cream." And like it's such a New York thing, the egg cream,
Yeah.
and I love egg creams, and he just was like, "You're not leaving until I make you an egg cream."
Oh, he drank it down.
And like so we had egg creams, like not that we need to be reminded of being in New York or anything like that.
Yeah, but they're hard to come by now these days.
Yeah, you got to make them yourself. Like there's very few places you can just walk in and ask for an egg cream.
Got to go to Braves. It's the only one.
So Howie, you live in New York, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
Born and raised. Both of
Born
you born
and raised, and like I probably got into hardcore around 83, but I hadn't really gone to a show yet until 84. And AF was probably about my third or fourth show.
Wow.
In New York. Like the first hardcore show I ever went to was Reagan Youth, and they were playing at some place in Queens that was literally inside a subway station. The club was called the Subway.
That's so awesome.
It was sort of like one of those, like every city has like the goth club that does hardcore shows once in a while, like they're used to. And that was what this place was, right? So most of the regulars there were into Bauhaus and Sisters of Mercy or whatever. And then Reagan Youth played. So when you showed up, like everybody there sitting on the floor, smoking clove cigarettes and like the whole thing. And like Reagan Youth comes on and now there's like a circle pit. And people like the Clove crowd is all freaked out, and then I finally went to CB's, and the first CB show I saw was AOD, and so I saw Adrenaline OD, and that's what. And I was coming into New York going to record stores and stuff, but that's really when I came and started going to shows. And CB's, when you left the matinee, they gave you the flyer for the rest of next week. Yeah. So after the second time I went to CB's, it was AF. And so, I'd heard of them by now, but hadn't, seen them. Victim in Pain was probably just out, And so I go, and it was freaking life-altering.
That's great. And you guys have been friends ever since.
I know. And and we met a little before that at another show. So I don't know if it was the AOD show or the second show. But a lot of people had that experience with Vinny, like where they met him the first time they went to a matinee, and was like the guy who made them feel comfortable, because it's a little bit of an intimidating situation.
I do that till today when I go to Barry Electric.
Yeah.
I go in there, whatever. And I'll see somebody by the wall standing there by themselves. And I'll just say anything. Hey, you know where the bathroom is? Whatever. I don't care. I'll just strike up a conversation,
Yeah. That's
so
awesome.
the best part is, the last time I was in Europe, when I go to the bathroom, I start singing, gotta go. Somebody always chimes in every time. They start singing, gotta go.
That's so
It's
great.
fucking awesome. I love doing
that. You guys are still actively playing and doing things. Are you allowed to talk about any new music or anything?
Yeah, I got a tour coming up with Sepultura on
Obituary,
an Obituary, and that's on September 17th. It starts in Chicago and it ends up in New York on October 12th. That's
where at in
I
Chicago.
just did a thing for Obituary the other day. They got my bobblehead.
Oh yeah.
And I left a message on their on John Toddy's cell phone. Like, Vinnie Stigma from New York. Like whatever. Told me what to say. I just read it back. So they're going to stream something out soon on the 5th of September. I forget when.
Yeah, and then you're going back to Europe in November.
Then I go back to Europe in November.
It's Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law. We got a Christmas party.
Nice.
Yes.
With the book.
Yeah. We have a few other book events that are happening, from now until the end of the year. We're going to do one at his New York Hardcore Tattoo Shop. We're doing one with Bridge 9.
That's my birthday one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Bridge 9.
So that's gonna be like a Christmas party,
birthday party.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's true. It's like
Christmas is far away yet.
It's a few days after his birthday, so yeah. So of course,
I like wine and cigars. I'm just saying, and coffee. It's a lot of coffee.
If you're playing with Murphy's Law, tell Jimmy he's got to get on the podcast because we've been trying to get him on for months.
All right, we'll get him on. We'll get him on.
We can do that.
Yeah. I can't wait to go on tour with him in November. It's going to be a bang, man.
Oh, you guys are going to Europe with him too?
Yes. First time in Europe. We bring a great crowd. We bring a lot of fun. I toured with them. We've been touring in America a lot. And let me tell you something. We're a good combo.
Yeah, they're a good band.
We're both from New York. We're old school. We're a lot of fun. It's awesome. I'm glad we're doing it. Then we're coming out to the West Coast, I believe.
I thought that was happening too. Yeah.
Something like that after. I haven't been out there for a minute.
And Jacob does their coffee too. Doesn't he, Mick?
Yeah, Jacob does Murphy's Law coffee as well. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, there's Murphy's Law coffee.
Yeah.
Where's the Howie Abrams coffee? Just make one bag.
That'd be awesome. Send us a picture of yourself. We'll make you a Howie
coffee.
I'll
try to find something that's like worthy.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, no Jerry.
Yeah, right.
Mick, shout them out the question we ask everybody.
Oh, okay. All right. So we asked this question for every podcast guest, and no cheating. And we always hear that you don't.
Same answer.
No, we normally hear, I don't have one of those, but everybody does. We want to know what your guilty pleasure is, either a book, a movie, or something that you listen to where somebody would go, wait, what? They listened to that, or they watched that, or they've read that, they're into that. Like, so we've had some crazy things in the past.
I do. Talk radio.
Talk radio. All right. Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of like a podcast.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because I cook, I do dishes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So it's easy for me to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Howie?
I was going to say for me, and it's weird because I don't consider it guilty pleasure really, but yacht rock.
Yacht rock?
Yacht rock.
It's like soft rock from the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I friggin' love yacht rock. Like there's no music that I listen to that gives me more flashbacks about my childhood than yacht rock.
Yeah,
like
well,
I can remember,
yeah.
like I remember 1974 when I hear a song from 1974, you know, and it was all like AM radio.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
like that, I love it. Like my go-to in the car is like yacht rock radio,
Nice.
Ozzy's Boneyard, and whatchamacallit, First Wave, the new wave station.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But I love yacht rock. Love it.
Yeah.
That's a good guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I approve.
Yeah,
I like
and
that
I'm
one.
having a hard time justifying it as a guilty pleasure because I just fucking love
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It's so Vinny's saying it is a guilty pleasure.
Okay.
I still-
Sailing, don't take me away.
I mean, that's like, come on.
Yeah.
I still think the best one is we had Jack Kelly on, and what did he say? He liked Japanese anime.
Yeah, he was really into Japanese
Oh,
anime.
okay.
I was like, whoa,
But nice
that's
and colorful, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. It just, you know, I don't know exactly how old he is. I'm assuming 60,
yeah.
you know, so it's interesting to be 60, I guess, and into anime, but whatever. He's a Boston guy. They're all backwards.
I love it. Oh, guys, thank you so much. This is awesome. We're so excited about your book. Do you have
Thank you,
anything in closing that you want to talk about the book?
No, we just, you know, all I can say is that last time I was here at Vinny's, like it was like the first time like I was with him when he'd read the book, you know?
Yeah.
And so for him to have told me that he's really happy with
Yeah.
the way it
really,
turned out
yeah.
was amazing, you
Yeah.
know, because we put all this work into it. It's been quite
It was
a while.
fun too.
Yes,
It was fun. It was really,
That's
know,
great.
thank you to Howie, you know, because, you know, the fact that there's like the cookbook and the comic book and the children's book, the coffee table book, you know what I mean? All these like other books are like in the book.
Yeah, little sections.
Little
and-
stuff. It breaks up the reading a little bit.
yeah, and it just
you know,
keeps it fun. Like,
yeah, it keeps it fun. Poems, puzzles. It's very collectible.
So
Yeah.
it's still your story, but within that story is all these added bonuses.
Yeah, because these are my family's recipes. This
That's
is
cool.
a story that I'm a superhero.
yeah, and,
Yeah, like, you know.
it's very like you get the little Italy history, you know.
Yeah, very New York.
Very New York. You know, you get his family history. You're going to get the AF history, like even, you know, past Roger too, but leading up to Roger even being in the band and how that happened, and like you know, what it was like to just try to have this band in the first place, and like the no expectations. And here we are, you're 40 years in,
Yeah.
and like basically 40 plus years in,
Yeah.
and you know, like still putting out records and touring, and you and Roger have books, and like
Yeah.
it's like, you know, who they certainly didn't expect
Yeah.
any of this. You know, Roger said in the forward, he goes, I didn't even know there was a Buffalo, New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize that all these other places existed, and I certainly, you know, didn't realize that we'd ever play there, you know, and let alone how many times, right? So it, like, for me as a fan, it's incredible. Like you know, like there's the part was like, shit, I just did Vinnie Stigma's book, right? Like, so there's that part.
Yeah.
But then
That's huge.
we're past that now, you know, like now it's like we really did this and we're proud of it. And I think anybody, like the people who are excited about this thing existing, like you guys, we think you'll just love it. You know, that's the point.
Awesome.
And that's what we set out to do. And I think we got there.
That's great. So real quick, you said you met with them like 22 sessions, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I have 22 recorded interviews. We're in the midst right now of doing the audiobook.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh, so you actually record. Oh, okay. So
Well, that's not the audio from it. We're
Oh.
we're redoing that.
you're
because
redoing it.
The audiobooks companies are very weird. They're sort of like, there's two of them that are the main ones. There's Audible, and then there's another company called Recorded Books. And so we're working with Recorded Books. They've been very good to us, like blah, blah, blah. But they want you in their studio with their engineer.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And like, it's got to be like pristine. Like there can't, you know, because I was trying to see if we could do it here and
Yeah.
have an engineer come here. and they're worried about does the refrigerator buzz? We can't have the air conditioner
Oh,
on.
interesting.
You know, like,
Okay.
and so it's very like controlled environment. Like, you know, he goes into basically a vocal booth.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
he's
and
gonna read
does
the,
it.
so he's just gonna read the book then, right? In the booth.
Yeah, so we started it already. You know, we're through like the first 8 chapters or whatever, and then I read Roger's forward and I read my intro, and like the parts where someone else, where their voice is in the book, I'll do that part, and then Vinny will read everything that's him speaking, which is almost all of it.
So now, what do you do in that case for like the comic book and the recipes?
Just gonna read it.
Really?
Just gonna read it.
I don't want to read my own superhero story.
Yeah, right. So I'll read the superhero story, but like,
Love
you know,
it.
and I'll do it like a narrator, like
Yeah.
Superman, you know.
Yeah.
And but with the recipes, there's 2 parts. So there's the ingredients, right? So there's a list of ingredients like a cookbook would have,
Uh-huh.
and then there's Vinny explaining how to make it. So
Okay.
Vinny will do all the like parts where he's explaining how to make it, and I might just read the ingredients, you know, sort of like very you know, Anthony Bourdain style or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's really cool. So in the book, does like the stories, the superhero stories, the cooking, does all that stuff, the crossword puzzles and whatnot, does that like break up the book, or is it like a section in the
Yes.
middle? Yeah,
Yeah, breaks it up.
breaks it up. Okay.
So you'll read a few chapters, and then there's recipes. You'll read some more chapters. There's a comic, you know. So did you guys ever see the Beastie Boys book?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
so you know how like it jumps around a little bit. And
I
there's
do.
Like,
Yep.
you know, it's like memorabilia and there's
Yep.
stuff. It has that feel to it, right?
Okay.
Except it's not friggin' 600 pages.
Yeah.
In the size of that book.
Yeah,
You know,
that
but
was like a really big book. Yeah.
It's a giant. I don't even know how they could afford shipping that book. You know.
Yeah.
It's so big, but like that was a little bit of an inspiration for on my end, you know, to
Okay.
like have it so that you could break it up and like you don't get bogged down in like
Sure.
any one thing. You know, you could just flip through the book and go, oh my God, look at these cartoons and just look at that, or you know, like, oh, look at these recipes. You know, you can sort of pick it up and look at it from anywhere.
Gotcha. That really helped. I'm a visual person, so I'm trying to like map this out in my brain and how you're going to do it on Audible. And I'm like, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's the audiobook process is a pain in the ass.
I'm sure.
It really is. Because it's very slow, very meticulous. You're sitting there with an engineer. It's like if he played a guitar part in the studio, it's like, all right, like you screwed up that part.
Right.
Let's, you know, let's punch in and,
Yeah.
you know, it's all that. Like, so, but it's, you know, thousands of words.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different animal, but like we're getting it done. And like, you know, like I've never been involved with a book with so many people requesting the audiobook, but that it had to be him doing it.
Yeah. That's cool. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be a fun process for both of you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a fun process.
But Vinny's such
I think
big
it'll be
guy.
fun when it's finished.
Yeah. Are you excited for it, Vinny?
I'm super excited,
That's
like,
good.
you know,
Yeah.
and I just can't wait, you know, till the 12th when we drop that book and we have that big party.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That's great.
Nice.
All right, man. Well, thank you both for being
Yeah, thank
on the
you so much.
podcast. And Vinny, what Agnostic Front song should we put on to trail out of this episode?
Oh, I think you got to do Power, right?
Do Power.
Power.
Yeah, I just recorded it. Speaking of which, I'm going on
Yes.
tour with Murphy's Law, and Murphy's Law recorded Power, and Agnostic Front recorded Murphy's Law's song Skinhead Rebel.
Oh, cool.
So we're going on tour in November, so we can have a product to sell, you know, a poster, a T-shirt, a United New York shirt, like kind of.
Is it going on a record?
Yeah, we put out this 45.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
45. That's old.
I
Yeah.
think it's a 45.
7-inch.
Like in hardcore circles, nobody knows.
Yeah.
People just call it a 7-inch.
Yeah.
Well,
same
7-inch. Yeah. Well, Jesse Malin had something to do
That's
with
right,
it.
Jesse
you
Malin.
know.
Yeah.
He was like producing it or something.
Yeah. And then, you know, there's a story about the song Power in the book because it was actually an Eliminator song before it was an Agnostic Front song.
Oh, crazy. I
So-
didn't know that.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
why I figured Power. You know?
Yeah, no.
But like,
Yeah.
but it's going to get a new life with Murphy's Law's version and all that. But he tells the story of Power and how, and Roger talks about it too, and how it was sort of different for the band, because it was more sort of punk rock, and they were on this like hardcore meets oi thing at the beginning, and so it's like a song that really represents it, and it's the song where Roger yells "Stigma."
Yeah, that's the song that put me on the map. That song.
Yeah, where you flip your guitar over.
Hero. Yeah. That's when I became a guitar hero.
Yeah, man.
That song's up to be about 50 years old soon.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's still kind of relevant, it's just,
that's crazy to think about. 50 years old.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. That's older than Mick and I.
I assumed, but I didn't want to say.
Yeah.
Mick's older. I'm 43. What are you, Mick?
I'm
46.
I'm 49.
49?
49.
How'd you get that old on me?
Oh, man.
Next year you'll be so.
I know.
Someone next to me's got 2 decades on me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm closer to the mix with you guys, but I've got a good few years on you too.
That's crazy. All right. We appreciate this so much. You don't even know. This brought a huge smile to our faces. Thank you both.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Take care.
All right.
Well, there it was. The one and only Vinnie Stigma, the most interesting man in the world, on the podcast. Yeah.
Definitely the most interesting. Love it. Love Vinny's energy.
Yeah. No, great interview. Good to have Howie there as well, and to help kind of pull us all together. He kind of steered the ship for all of us.
Yeah. Thank you, Howie. Thank you for doing our job. Thank you for making it a very good podcast episode for everyone, including us.
Such a professional. You can tell he's a writer. Did a good job.
Yes, he did a great job. Made us look good.
Right.
So we're back. We're doing this thing. We got some guests coming up that we never like to talk about because we always jinx it because we're the most jinxable people in the world. Yeah.
Right. That's why we didn't say anything about this one.
Yes. But our buddy Mark Sylvester hooked us up with in my opinion, gigantic guest, especially in our house.
Oh.
My son loves them.
Okay.
They're they're kind of like a two-tony ska kind of band, and we're really excited, and we hope it probably jinxed it just by saying that.
Just go say, don't say anything else. Don't say anything else.
So but do the Mick thing. Go like and share.
Yeah,
and comment.
Listen, it's been 3 months. So now is your time. We're back. This is the crazy awesome episode. So now you have to share this with your friends. Share it with your mom, your dad, your grandma, your aunts, your uncles. Share it everywhere. Yeah, the cats. Make sure you like this episode. Give it a heart or whatever it is nowadays that they do on the podcast stuff, and help us spread the word and help us also get the word out about Vinny's book. So yeah.
Yes, please, Vinny's book.
Yes. Please.
So we have the most special guest of the night. We have Mick's wife. She wants to say something.
What would you like to say, honey?
Adios, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long, hot summer, but guess what? Coffee and Hardcore is back, bitches. And I am.
You gotta let me know you're gonna do stuff like that. You goofball.
It popped in my head right when I was saying it. I was like, I just had to do it.
Good thing I just swallowed my Gatorade.
Alrighty.
Cut.
Cut. All right.
You can put that at the
again.
end.
Put that at the end, yes. All right. All right.
Wally Gator. Remember Wally Gator, the cartoon? Remember Wally Gator? Wally Gator is the meanest alligator in the park. I'll never forget. He used to run.
Yes.
He had a hat like a band.
A weird running
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
Wally Gator is the swinging navigator in the swamp. He's the greatest percolator when he